You won't believe what airport security has found over the years, from bizarre objects hidden in luggage to things that will leave you speechless. Today we're diving into the craziest things ever caught by airport security. Stay tuned because the last one will completely shock you. Shoes of deception. Smuggling tricks can get wild, and one shocking case happened in Mumbai. Airport security got a tip that someone was sneaking cocaine into the city, so they searched passengers more carefully than usual. That's when they found a woman hiding drugs inside her shoes, with more stuffed into her bags, because the shoes alone weren't enough. Investigators followed the trail and even caught the contacts she was supposed to deliver the drugs to, shutting down part of a crime ring. The idea of hiding drugs in shoes was sneaky. No one usually thinks to check under someone's feet, and if packed well, it could be walked right through security without raising suspicion. But this time, the plan failed, the woman was arrested, and now airport officers have another trick to watch out for. Sadly, while one scheme gets exposed, drug smugglers just keep finding newer and stranger ways to push their trade, which means airport security can never let its guard down. Wheelchair cocaine bust. Here's a shocking twist from 2022 that left airport officers stunned. At John F. Kennedy Airport, customs agents discovered nearly 28 pounds of cocaine hidden inside the wheels of a passenger's wheelchair. What gave it away? The wheelchair's wheels weren't turning properly, as if something heavy was weighing them down. Officers first questioned the woman, but her answers didn't add up, so they sent the chair for an X-ray. That's when the truth rolled out. The tires were stuffed with cocaine worth almost $500,000 on the streets. The woman was arrested and handed over to Homeland Security. The strangest part, if the smugglers hadn't overloaded the wheels, this plan might have actually worked, since people usually don't suspect a disabled passenger of being a drug mule.
Turtle smugglers. Strange secrets have been found inside airports, but one of the most shocking discoveries was not guns, not drugs, but animals. Yes, people risk everything to smuggle rare creatures because exotic animals are sold for huge amounts of money. In 2019, police in the Philippines opened abandoned suitcases and found 1,529 live turtles tightly wrapped in duct tape. These weren't normal turtles from the beach, but rare ones like star tortoises, red-footed tortoises, sulcata tortoises, and red-eared sliders. The suitcases had come from Hong Kong, but for some reason the smugglers never picked them up. Maybe they got scared or felt they were being watched. At that time, the turtles were worth more than $50,000, showing just how big this black market was. The Philippines is now used to catching animal smugglers, with punishments reaching up to 2 years in prison. And while they may look like just turtles, for collectors and pet lovers, rare ones are worth a fortune, proof of how far greed can push people. Peanut butter secret. At Pittsburgh International Airport, a TSA officer was checking bags when one of them set off an alarm. At first, nothing dangerous showed up, no guns, no animals, no bricks of cocaine. But then he noticed something strange, a yarn of peanut butter packed in the checked bag. When he opened it, the surprise came out. Hidden inside were 3 vape canisters filled with marijuana, carefully wrapped in plastic bags. The person carrying it claimed it was for medical use, but instead of declaring it, they tried to hide it in peanut butter. TSA explained that while they don't actively look for drugs, if they find them, the police step in. That clever trick ended up backfiring, landing the traveler in serious trouble.
Sneak in the airport. A shocking scene unfolded in 2019 in Newark Airport, New Jersey, when a little girl screamed after spotting a 15-inch snake slithering around the TSA security area. People panicked, thinking it might be venomous, but luckily it turned out to be harmless. Officials believe someone had secretly brought the snake into the airport and had somehow escaped, wandering until that girl discovered it. The strange part is that snakes have been smuggled through airports before because they can slip past scanners if nothing metallic is on them. TSA later confirmed that whoever lost the snake shouldn't expect it back, and honestly, that might be the safest outcome for everyone. Smuggled lizards. Shocking scenes unfolded at Perth Airport in 2017 when officers found something strange in a suitcase headed to Japan. Inside were 13 live bobtail lizards stuffed into cotton bags, hidden away by a Japanese traveler. Each lizard was worth around $10,000, making the total haul worth a fortune. But the truth was heartbreaking. The poor creatures were weak and in bad health. This is the ugly side of animal smuggling. While traffickers chase money, the animals suffer the most. Thankfully, the reptiles were rescued in time and given a chance to recover instead of dying in the cruel trade.
Mattress man. Here's a story that sounds straight out of a bizarre movie. In 2019, Spanish border officers made a shocking discovery when they found 2 men hiding inside a mattress trying to sneak into Europe. These men weren't hurt and even looked surprisingly comfortable tucked inside, but their plan failed as security caught them on the spot. The strange case shows how far human traffickers and smugglers, often called coyotes, will go to get people across borders in search of new lives. It was a lucky catch for the officers because if tricks like this slip through, who knows what else could make its way into a country. Bullets in deodorant. Back in 2021, airport security officers at Atlantic City International made a shocking discovery that left everyone scratching their heads. During a routine scan, TSA agents spotted something strange inside a stick of deodorant. When they checked, they found 6 real bullets hidden neatly inside. It looked clever, but it was far from smart because X-ray machines easily exposed the trick. Now the big question is, why would someone try to sneak bullets on a plane without even having a gun? The rules are clear. Only declared and unloaded firearms are allowed, yet this person tried to play a dangerous game. Thankfully, security caught them, but the mystery remains. What was the real plan behind hiding bullets in deodorant?
Sword cane. Hidden weapons have always played a big role in spy stories, and one of the cleverest tricks is the sword cane. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary walking stick, maybe even carried by someone pretending to limp, but inside hides a sharp blade waiting for the perfect moment. This trick has been used for centuries in the dark world of espionage, where getting close to a target without raising suspicion is the real art. But not all sword cane stories belong to spies. At Logan Airport in Boston, security stopped a man when his cane set off alarms. To everyone's surprise, it wasn't just a cane, it had a sword hidden inside. The strangest part, the man claimed he had no idea it was even there. He surrendered it to TSA and then casually boarded his flight as if nothing had happened. Fake baby bump. This one will shock you. In Colombia, a woman came up with a strange plan to sneak drugs through an airport. She wasn't pregnant at all, but she wore a fake belly that made it look like she was expecting. Inside that fake baby bump, she hid 2 kilos of cocaine, thinking no one would ever suspect a mother to be. But when an airport officer asked about her pregnancy and touched the belly, it felt cold and hard instead of soft like real skin. That's when they searched her and uncovered the truth. The fake belly was stuffed with drugs, and now she faces up to 8 years in prison for the stuff.
Lipstick gun at the airport. Strange things always turn up at airport security, but this one left everyone scratching their heads. In 2021, TSA officers at Bradley Airport found something hidden in plain sight, a lipstick stun gun along with 3 loose .380 caliber bullets. The bullets were already a big problem since they are never allowed on flights, but the stun gun made it even more curious. TSA does allow stun guns on planes, but only if they are locked away in a case where no one can reach them. Still, who carries a stun gun disguised as lipstick? It's not just unusual, it's the kind of thing that makes you wonder what story was behind it. Bird curlers. A man in New York City shocked everyone in 2021 when he was caught with 35 live songbirds hidden inside hair curlers strapped to his clothes. Yes, real birds stuffed inside curlers. He told authorities he was paid $500 up front and promised another $2,500 once he delivered them. But why would anyone risk so much for tiny birds? The truth is, songbirds are used in contests where their singing can win up to $10,000. So smuggling a whole group of winning birds could mean a lot of money, even if it meant hiding them in the strangest way possible.
Dead birds in a bag. Back in 2020, airport officers in Dallas made a shocking discovery when they opened a traveler's luggage. Instead of clothes or gifts, the bag was filled with dead birds. The owner claimed they were meant to be cat food, but the excuse sounded more foolish than convincing. Things got worse when it turned out the birds were brought in from China, which is strictly illegal. To prevent the spread of avian flu, the officers burned all the birds on the spot. With 2020 already being a year full of crises, no one wanted to risk another disaster caused by smuggled animals. Cat in the bag. A shocking scene unfolded at airport security when TSA scanned a bag and found a live cat curled up inside. At first, it looked like a serious case of animal smuggling, but the story took a strange turn. The passengers swore they had no idea the cat was in there, and when officials called the real owner, things became clear. The cat was known for sneaking into boxes, suitcases, and anything it could crawl into. Since the owner lived in the same building as the traveler, the cat had simply wandered into the wrong room and slipped inside the bag unnoticed. No charges were filed, and the furry stowaway was safely returned home. Lobster in a bag. Guess what a TSA officer found inside a suitcase at Boston Logan Airport in 2017? Not clothes, not shoes, but a giant live lobster sitting in a cooler. The claws were taped so it couldn't pinch anyone, and it was packed safely to stay alive during the flight. Here's the wild part. Carrying lobsters on planes isn't against the rules at all. In fact, New England airports often see travelers checking in with lobsters, almost like souvenirs of the sea. Yes, people really do fly with live lobsters in their luggage. Tiger cub in a suitcase. Airports see strange things every day, but nothing prepared officers at Bangkok's International Airport for this shocking discovery. When they scanned a suitcase that looked like it was filled with stuffed toys, they were stunned to find a real tiger cub hidden among them. The poor cub had been sedated to look lifeless, ready to be smuggled across borders. Thankfully, the little tiger was rescued before it could be sold in Iran, and the smuggler was caught on the spot. This was one of the most unusual and heartbreaking attempts at animal smuggling ever seen.
Suitcase boy. A shocking scene unfolded at an airport when security opened a suitcase and found an 8-year-old boy hidden inside. This wasn't a prank, but a heartbreaking case of human smuggling. The boy's father, already living in Spain, was desperate to bring his son to him. He paid smugglers, not knowing their cruel plan was to stuff the child inside a suitcase. Luckily, security spotted the boy quickly, pulled him out, and checked that he was safe. The father almost faced prison for this, but both admitted they had no idea how the smugglers would attempt it. This sad story reminds us how dangerous and tragic illegal human transport can be. Money smugglers. In New Delhi, airport security caught something wild. People were hiding money inside food. Videos showed officers cracking open peanuts, unzipping sealed biscuit packets, and even digging into greasy meat pieces, all to find rolls of cash hidden inside. Whoever did this got creative, spreading the money across different snacks to avoid detection, but clearly it didn't work. The reason behind smuggling it is a mystery, but it's probably not for a good cause. This is just one of the crazy things TSA has discovered. Some of these attempts were almost comical in how obvious they were, and it makes you wonder who comes up with these ideas.
Gun and a chicken. This one starts off crazy. At Fort Lauderdale Airport in Florida, security found something shocking hidden inside a raw chicken. It wasn't money, it wasn't drugs, it was actually a handgun. Yes, someone wrapped a pistol in paper and shoved it deep into a chicken, thinking TSA officers wouldn't dare check it. Maybe they thought no one would want to stick their hands inside raw meat, but TSA doesn't miss tricks like this. Weapons are strictly controlled at airports, and trying to sneak one in this way is not only bizarre, but also dangerous. No one knows why that person tried such a stunt, but hiding a gun inside a chicken isn't exactly the smartest plan. Golden wig. Here's a wild one for you. An Indian man thought he had come up with the smartest smuggling trick ever. Instead of hiding weapons or drugs, he decided to sneak gold out of the country by stuffing pouches of it under a golden wig. Sounds clever, right? Well, not really. The gold weighed around 686 grams, which is about 24 ounces, worth nearly $43,000. That's no small stash and clearly something worth smuggling if you're desperate. Maybe he wanted a better price abroad, or maybe he stole it and was rushing out before getting caught. But here's the funny part. Did he forget that gold sets off metal detectors? Airports around the world use them, and huge chunks of gold have been discovered with detectors in the US and Australia. So of course, security caught him instantly. In the end, his genius golden wig plan was nothing more than a shiny failure. And that's just a glimpse of the wildest things discovered at airports around the world. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable stories.